equipment in the industry so that you receive the best results possible. They'll explain all the procedures in detail and answer all of your questions. Absolute Skin and Body Care. If you're looking for skin rejuvenation, laser lipo, or laser hair removal, call Absolute Skin and Body Care. They're located at 37625 Ann Arbor Road, Suite 105 in Livonia, Michigan. Absolute Skin and Body Care. Their office phone numbers are 248-305-3000. That's 248-305-3000. Absolute Skin and Body Care.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show, and it's so much fun.
Before we get to your calls, I just had a couple other things to add, if you don't mind. I know a lot of conservatives and a lot of liberals. One thing I can tell you about both. I know a lot of conservatives, and none of them hate black people. None of them hate Mexican people. None of them hate in general. But I know a lot of liberals, a lot of them, that hate white people. They hate them. I don't know why. I don't know what's so bad about people with less melanin. Because that's what it boils down to. Now, if you're talking behavior, see, and that's where I fall a little bit more, is if there's an ism I'm a part of, it's a behaviorism. I don't care who you are and what you do in public or in private. Sure as hell don't care what you do in private. That's your business. You keep it there, that's fine. You shove it in my face, I'm going to say something. Because I don't have to take that crap. If you're going to shove something in my face that offends me, I'm going to say something about it. As should you. So that goes a long way with unity, as I was talking earlier. You don't want to sit there and offend people on purpose just because you want to get some kind of jolly out of it. Something that gets you off. Oh, I love offending Christians. I love offending these kind of people. It's ridiculous. So stop it. Whatever you got that's different than everybody else, keep it at home. That's kind of what we were taught from my grandparents. We spoke French at home. When we were in public, we spoke English. It was out of respect for everybody. You lived in America. They spoke English. Made sense. There's not a lot of sense going on right now. People lack a lot of it anyways. So with that being said, I'll get off my lecture chair now, and we'll head out to you, the listener. Our first call going out to Shady in Detroit.
Hey, John, I just want to talk about that corruption you were talking about earlier.
Well, the floor is yours, Shady.
We know politicians are dirty, and that city's been dirty for a long time. Most of the mayors have been corrupt. There's even one mayor that's getting 2 pensions off the damn city.
Yeah, I know, Shady.
So next time you got information, just bust them.
Okay, thanks for your call. Our next call comes in from Wilbert.
John, did you see that Americans are moving to lower tax states?
I did see that. Probably because they're sick of paying for things they don't want to pay for. And if you're in a low tax state, you can actually keep your money.
Apparently, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona led the way this past year in overall population growth.
Texas and Florida were also big winners in that overall population growth as well. And because of that, that's actually going to factor in to the electoral votes in the next election.
I was just going to say that, John. Texas has gained 3 votes. They're going from 36 to 39. Florida's going from 27 to 29. Arizona went from 9 to 10. Colorado gained 1. Montana went from at large to 2. North Carolina gained 1. And Oregon gained 1.
And most of those are conservative states. Now, on the other side, looks like liberal states are losing people as well.
New York lost 2. Alabama lost 1. California lost 1. Michigan lost 1. Minnesota might lose 1. Ohio loses 1. Pennsylvania loses one, Rhode Island loses one, and West Virginia loses one as well.
All in all, looks like more people are going to low-tax states and states that are going to be more Republican-leaning. We'll see how that works out in the next election. Thanks, Wilbert, for your call. Our next call comes in from Gooberfish. What say you?
Did you see that dude on the news, man?
Which dude are you talking about?
Yo, man, I'm talking about that dude with all the guns, man.
Are you talking about the Coast Guard lieutenant?
That's what I'm saying, man. Did you see about that, man? Because you ain't been talking about it on the radio.
I'll be honest, I've only spent a few minutes on it. And when I look at the pictures of all the so-called weapons he had, to some people that's a lot. But to people who have been in the military, that's not all that much to have.
So you don't think he did it?
He's being charged with unlawful possession of firearms and a opioid called Tramadol. So I that's all we know. But when I see the pictures of the weapon stash he had, any military guy would have a similar amount of stuff. So I don't think it's all that crazy for somebody to own that many things. And to some people who don't even have a handgun, wouldn't understand why you would have that much. But to other people who are a little more, constitutional, might keep that on hand just in case something happens that they have to protect themselves from a threat. He had a list, and that scared a lot of people. Had Democrats on it. We've seen these guys who went attacked Republicans. The country's crazy. It's what I was talking about earlier. We've just got to move past that and start dealing with what unifies us as a country. And if one side says no about something, then we don't do it. If we can do that, if one side can't do something because it's beyond their morals, then we just don't get something done. And we say, okay, what can we get done as a country to make ourselves closer? And we drop the subject. We drop the subjects we can't work with the other side on. We just drop them. Because if you don't drop them, then you're going to keep the fighting going. Thanks for your call. And before we get out of here, I think we're going to talk a little bit about this next subject. Found interesting. It was an article by the Daily Mail called "Men Who Live on a Main Road Are More Likely to Struggle to Get an Erection Because the Toxic Fumes Cut Off Their Blood Supply." According to this new latest research, men who live on these main roads are going to have difficulty getting their schmeckle to be erect. And that's concerning because guess who lives on a main road? I haven't seen the problem. I mean, when you think about how old I am, I'm lucky to be at attention as I am compared to what I hear with some guys at my age, that they have to actually take pills and stuff. I don't need the pill. Shoot. Dun, da, da. Just say that. We don't want to get into it beyond that. But guess the toxic fumes reduce blood flow to the genitalia. Now this has been in test with rats, because we test everything on rats. And it's comical, ladies and gentlemen, because although it's in the name of research, they say to just imagine some guy in some goggles wearing all kinds of stuff, and he's down there with a scalpel on some rats, and he's testing their genitalia to see how much blood there is. So he's with a microscope, and he's getting a really close in view. He's right in there. Let's see these genitalia. Oh, look at this rat's got some big ones, boy. Woo! I mean, I haven't seen a genitalia like that on a rat ever. Man. Oh. So I find these studies humorous out of all the other stuff that we can find from this. I guess it's bad. It hasn't affected me yet. Took a while for blindness to affect me, but it's come in like a son of a gun. And, one day I might be doing the Stevie Wonder thing here in the studio because I can't see where the microphone is, so I'm just going to bob my head back and forth, try to find the microphone. And I love Stevie Wonder, so please don't get all offended. People need, you know what, that's another thing. Stop being offended over everything. Joke's a joke, okay? Maybe a bad joke is not very good. You go, oh, dude, that was a sucky joke. You know, probably want to do something better. You know, step up your game on the joke a little bit. But we get offended over everything. We want to divide ourselves over everything, and we end up, all we're doing is hurting ourselves and our posterity. Because if we can't find a way to make the United States work the way it was intended to work, then the whole world is going to fall into chaos because, like I said earlier, we're the leaders. And if we can't cope with the stresses of freedom, if we can't handle this, the rest of the world won't be able to do it. And our founding fathers put this thing in place, this government in place that, not this government that we have now. Their thought of the government is way different than what we have now. But they put this thing in place to give us an opportunity to live free for the first time in the history of man. We had a chance at it as the common man. And we've been blowing it and blowing it and blowing it. And if we continue down the road of dividing ourselves between different subgenres of people, between different opinions of thought, then we're in big trouble. So the things we can't agree on, maybe we need to drop it. Don't even talk about it. We can't agree on healthcare, probably shouldn't do anything about it then. Better off we don't do anything than to piss off half the country and eventually push the country into something that's going to hurt everybody. Which seems to be a reoccurring story in the history of man. A great civilization rises. It can't handle the stress of being the great civilization, so then it crumbles under the stress, descends into chaos, war, famine, destruction, and then something else rises from it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for this week's John Lebang Show. Thank you for tuning in. I want to also thank all of our affiliate stations for allowing us to be part of their great networks. Don't forget to go to our website. That's www.jlebang.com. You can, as a listener, tune into past broadcasts there in our archive section, which is down the right side of the website. Feel free to go there because if you tuned into any or missed any portion of this broadcast, you can listen on demand right there at the website. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John Lebang signing off from the Banger Studios. See you next week.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance is futile.